The individuals that we spotlight each week in the Wall of Shame have not broken any laws. We're not accusing them of any criminal acts. That's the problem. The laws allow them to do this. But what I like to say to the actors is if you can't put your latest performance on your portfolio, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. With that in mind, these individuals deserve to be highlighted for their overstepping of the moral and ethical boundaries that an actor should abide by. Due to the apparent war that is about to break out with Syria and the United States, I wanted to put together this video as quick as possible so you could have something to use for leverage to see if you could possibly stop this war. Therefore, the content of this video is going to be brief as per each individual that I show you. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to give you all the facts or the evidence per each individual because that would take too long for me to edit and I would not have it finished in time. So the way to validate this information is going to be take what I give you, look at the spouse of the individual, and you will see that they are going to be a match. If enough of you get behind this effort and make a loud enough noise, you can affect these individuals directly and possibly divert them from kicking off this already planned out, already shot and in the can war. Shortly after making this connection, we noticed that the president of Egypt stepped down. The next person that they put in place was no different than the first. He was another actor, but he has ties to a certain group that you'll find very interesting. The individuals in this video have a common bond between them all. Majority of them are the cast of SCTV, the Canadian crew. As we see, the acting president, note that word, acting president of Egypt is actually Eugene Levy.
Was, you know, he was a sweetheart. He was like he was truly one of the funny guys. Naturally funny. He was great. He was great at Second City. He had, I think, John's quality.
And of course he was talking about John Candy, another member of the SCTV team. To understand more about the legend making and how it's a profitable business, go to Wellaware 1 and you will see the legend making tab.
Now to our exclusive interview with Edward Snowden's father, Lon Snowden, the family's lawyer, Bruce Fine. Thank you both for joining us this morning. You just heard there some U.S. officials, according to Martha Raddatz, believe that a deal may be in the United States' interest. Do you think that's something your son is open to?
I can tell you that I'm not open to it, and that's what I'll share with my son in terms of a plea deal. At this
You're not
point,
open to it?
Not open to it. At this point, what I would like is for this to be vetted, an open court for the American people to have all of the...
Well, it's really funny because a lot of them don't even know that I don't speak Japanese, even though I have a little girl's voice in Japan. So it's not bad when I'm 6 or 7, but by the time I'm 13, not only am I speaking Japanese, I have a little girl's voice.
And you beat out something like 5.
And in now for the lawyer that's sitting next to him.
From the Russians.
We have visas. We have a date, which we won't disclose right now.
The great thing about Chicago, and I was welcomed, back by the acting community. It was great.
Next we have Dave Foley. You may remember him from News Radio. Or maybe not, because he let himself go since then.
I'm not sure if my life would make a good sitcom. It would make a great one-hour drama.
And she was talking to her husband in real time. The intruder broke into the home, had a crowbar, and he found him in the closet.
And I'm not in order to pay more than
According to media reports, her husband said,
basically the only way I can pay
shoot.
the child support that I'm ordered to is to have a week.
Now there are many, many more representatives and senators that are involved in, of course, this war. I don't have time to put them all in this video, so I will make another second video to go along with this. But there are a few more that I want to touch in this that are key, and they tie directly to the family and directly to the Greenbergs themselves. The individuals out there that still like to make fun of McCain and Winkler being the same person, just a little bit of a word of advice: whenever you see those people, make sure you throw it in their face this, because this is how you prove all the individuals that we're talking about. Their spouse. Their spouse is going to be the key that you use consistently to validate the work. You're all aware of the Gabrielle Giffords event that I exposed, and of course the brother that was actually the cousin of Samantha Sexton, who played Christina Taylor Greene. He's been in many different events with his mother, and of course you've seen the video of her trying to convince him to fake like he has cancer so he could get presents like she did. You can see here that they are, again, trying to follow in their family's footsteps, because his cousin, Arden Vole, was the one that testified in front of Congress as the Nurse Naira that got us into the Gulf War with the babies in the incubator story. So we see him and his mother taking part in their instigation of the people, and they need to be held accountable for their actions. Now his other cousin, remember, is Brett Greenberg, and we see that Brett has been playing one of the roles of a Middle East leader, and we can see that it's definitely him. He's also been in several other events like the Dallas Occupy movement that I filmed. He was one of the eyewitness victims of the Batman movie shooting hoax, and he was also the police officer, Officer Primo, that bought the shoes from Skechers, his family's store, for the homeless guy in New York during Christmas time. Yeah, the free ad for Skechers. In his most recent sighting, he has, of course, dyed his hair and has tried to change his appearance, but it doesn't work because we know who they are. They're instigating this war for the reasons that they are the owners of the steel mills, of the oil companies, of all the raw materials that are needed when it comes to war. They profit immensely when we have conflict. That's why they always have conflict. That's why they're always trying to push for conflict in every country they can. But here's where it gets really interesting. I was contacted the other day by a media group that wanted to interview me. Upon looking at their website, I pulled up a video that had to do with the conflict over in the Middle East. Immediately, I saw signs of the family and that this company is not to be trusted. So I guess you can tell what I said to them about their interview. As we see right here in the beginning, we have either a look-alike or it's actually Johnny Knoxville. You'll see the next person that is right behind him, back in the distance, is another one that is put there on purpose to see if we're paying attention. It's either Michael Greenberg or a look-alike.
Until the picture ends.
It is the majority of the Egyptian people who force it.
This one is another SNL and SCTV actor, but I don't know his name offhand. Still looking for it, but you'll see that they use him right in a row. They just change his appearance, and he plays another part in the same video. They're just so blatant about it, they could care less.
The army to give back the right we gave it to Mr. Morsi.
This roadmap includes the following: suspending the Constitution provisionally. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Constitutional Court will declare an...
These people who took to the streets are here to prove that their first experience of democracy in Egypt is threatened at birth by the military coup.
So I'm constantly asked all the time who's at the top, and I consistently say it's the crown that's behind it all. Well, we finally have proof of that, as we see Prince Charles is none other than Lord Jacob Rothschild.
Society, but we just want to let you know the New World Order has no legitimacy, and that we as a people are not afraid, and we are waking up to the robber barons and the big banksters who are looting this economy with the Federal Reserve.
Well,